We treat every project like a competition. There's no metrics behind that specifically, but that's
What
just
do you mean? So competition in what regards? Like it's going to be better than the last, or like
we're
you're gonna make more profit? Like what do you mean competition?
we're competitive. I
Yeah.
treat it like it's an athletic program. For like the 89 unit project, like our goal was to beat the schedule, beat the budget,
Yeah.
and have high quality.
Everything has to go smoothly.
And now we set the tone with that project team, and it carries over onto the other projects.
Yeah.
Young Junk!
All right. So today on the New How podcast, we have Bryan Cohen. Bryan, welcome to the show. Just to give you a little background about Bryan. Bryan's an entrepreneur and former professional basketball player turned general construction company co-founder. After playing professionally in Israel and winning a championship, Bryan transitioned to real estate in 2015, scaling a portfolio using the BRRRR strategy, which everyone knows, alongside his brother Aaron. They recognized for the need for better execution, so they founded Full Court Construction in 2017, which has delivered over now 50 million projects across Philadelphia, from single-family renovations to large-scale multifamily and adaptive reuse projects. Bryan brings a disciplined team-first mindset from athletics into building a company known for high-level execution, strong relationships, and value-driven construction solutions. Bryan, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Bri. Appreciate it. Excited to be here.
I know you're an avid listener, and I remember reaching out to you. You're like, thank God, I've been waiting to get on the show. I said, Bryan, like, of course, you got to at least hit 50 million in construction, build a successful construction company. Like, I want your story to keep going, and you got to be able to tell it on the show. But I want to go back. You went to Bucknell for college and played basketball. Did you ever have like one of those Final Four finishing shots on the NCAA?
You know what's funny? I did not, but my claim to fame is I did play in the NCAA tournament.
Okay.
Granted, if people actually do look it up, we lost by 30. But
So wait, what round were you out in the first round? Like,
first round,
like Gonzaga took you out or some shit? Like,
so it was actually Kemba from UConn that they did go and win the full tournament, so it made me feel a little bit better.
all right.
Yeah,
So you at least got to play the champions and
exactly.
whooped you by 30. That's all right.
Yeah,
So what'd you go to college for? I'm just curious. Like what obviously you played basketball, but like what was your major in college?
Economics.
Okay.
Yeah, so business fundamentals was a good foundation. Didn't really know what I wanted to get into after college. So I figured that was a good base to start with.
So after college, you graduate. Israeli team says, "Hey Bryan, you want to come play over here? Saw you lost by 30 points. Would love to give you a shot." Like, how did that work? Like, talk how you go play professionally in Israel.
Great question. So, growing up, I played. It's called the Maccabi Games. So essentially, it's like the Jewish Olympics,
Yep.
and that gave me exposure to play in front of Israeli agents.
Mhm.
So after college, they were recruiting me to play, on different teams in the Israeli Premier League.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And how long did that last for? Like,
I played for 2.5 years.
okay, and you won a championship there. Like, what? Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, just perfect timing. I played for Maccabi Haifa my first year. It was really cool. Brad Greenberg was the head coach, brother of Seth Greenberg.
Yep.
And he claimed to fame, he actually drafted Allen Iverson. So I got to hear a lot of cool stories playing for him. And we ended up beating Maccabi Tel Aviv my first year in the Israeli Premier League, which happened, I think, 3 times ever. So it was a unique experience for me.
That's awesome. And then were you given the opportunity, like, could you have kept going, or like what was that training? Because I guess you lived over there for
Yep.
them, right, to play in this league. So you had to stay in Israel. You lived there for 2-3 years, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Honestly, for me, I didn't get to study or live abroad, in high school and or college. A lot of kids experience that. So it was kind of like the opportunity for me.
The extended study abroad program.
Exactly. So I got to play professionally a sport I love that, that was my main passion in life growing up, and then live abroad. I knew that wasn't going to be my long-term career. So it was kind of just an opportunity I didn't want to pass up on. Yeah.
So mix of basketball, playing athletics at a high level, studied economics, understanding how the world works. Israel, U.S., right? All the you have a very holistic view on how the world works at this point of your life. Why the hell construction? Like, talk now. You got to bring me back. Like, why'd you come back to the States? How did that work out for you?
Yeah.
Then how'd you get into real estate?
Great question. I feel like we can relate to this. You jump into real estate, you don't know what lane you're going to pick.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the case for me and my brother. We came back. My brother was actually teaching I didn't have
He
it.
taught.
Yeah, he was a teacher, high school basketball coach.
Okay.
Um, so we wanted to get involved in real estate in some capacity. We read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. We also read another book called Go Section 8, where it was about two janitors that acquired 100 rental properties doing the Burr method.
Yep.
And we were like, honestly, if those guys can do it, why can't we?
Yep.
So that's kind of where we jumped into real estate. We were acquiring, doing the renovations ourselves, the lease up, the property
Like
management.
physically, you and your brother were physically swinging hammers.
We were. We were not good at it.
I mean, anyone could swing a hammer and spackle and paint, right? Like,
Yeah. We started from doing the drywall install ourselves, which
wow.
looking back at it, I'm happy we started there. Yeah. So that's where we started.
And these were like what, single family rentals? What, like, talk to me, like what was like the first thing you guys bought together?
Sure. Single family rental. It was in Frankfurt
Okay.
area, Northeast Philly.
And that was what year? What year was you buying in Frankfurt?
Jog my memory here.
'Cause I did a property across from Frankfurt High School early back in like 2015, 16.
Okay. Not too far. This was 2015.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, we were buying properties 20, 30,000 back then.
Yeah.
I mean, you get what you pay for.
Of course. That's what they were going for, though.
Yep. And that was our model. We were buying them cheap. We were doing the manual labor ourselves. We were hiring, site laborers, things of that sort, keeping the expenses really low, adding value, going to a bank, appraising us, cutting us a check when we refinance.
Get out. Now you got rentals, renting it, playing property manager.
Yep.
The rest of it. How many of those did you do in the beginning?
We went a little crazy.
So more than one, I'm assuming.
Yeah, we did 44 in 2 years.
Wow. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's a lot of drywall.
That was a lot of drywall.
At what point of that process were you guys like, we got to hire help?
Until we couldn't keep up with the amount of volume we were doing.
Yeah.
And that kind of segues into, my construction experience.
Yeah.
We were doing all single families, raised family and friends money. And then we transitioned into duplexes, triplexes.
Like if I got to drive to a site, at least there's a couple units there as opposed to just one unit.
Yeah. Economically, it makes a little more sense.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. You put your degree to use.
Not so much. I put a basketball in the hole. Yeah. So, we interviewed a lot of general contractors. We wanted to scale up. We hired a lot of them.
Yep.
And not a lot of them panned out, from, the saying price, quality, time. A lot of them weren't consistent. We were.
Can't get all three, but.
We're trying to. So, we interviewed a lot. A lot of them didn't work out. One kind of stuck with us, and we essentially partnered with him. And that was like my first mentor in the construction space. It was a small mom and pop GC firm, and taught me the ropes in the field. From a quality control standpoint, installation, and that's where I really fell in love with the construction aspect of the real estate market. So we grew that. We started doing 5 units, 6 units, and then it's actually, I think, a deal we did together. A transaction was the 15 unit on Lancaster Ave.
We had bought that off of I think the Axe guys.
Yes.
We saw value. We re-entitled it for more units. Then we sold it shovel ready to you and your partners.
Yep. Yeah.
And now I looked online recently. It's only like 1 unit available in there. It looks good.
No, it
looks good.
Fully occupied. Our office is actually there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So it's cool how that kind of went full circle. And
it's 15 unit now. That's small buildings for you guys.
Yeah. We've been fortunate where, I mean, we started in 2017. So we're coming up on 9 years, and our biggest project to date that were able to work together was an 89 unit project. And looking back at it, we did organic growth into little larger assets over time, which was great for us because it's a learning experience as you go into bigger projects. But we learn through going through it. You know what I mean?
Talk about I want to bring you back to a time where we all want to forget about it, but you obviously had a construction company going through COVID. Talk about that and kind of how you were able to navigate the waters and be here today.
It's a great question. Looking back at COVID, it was really
That was what, a couple years after you had started technically
Uh,
building for others?
so we officially pivoted about 5 years ago in
Yeah.
terms of just being a general construction third party company. And the biggest obstacles was the price escalation. That was a learning experience in terms of how to navigate that for active projects, upcoming projects. The good thing was, and it's kind of similar in today's market where there wasn't a lot of projects transacting. So the fact that we had active projects, we were able to take advantage of that with
Yeah,
our
keep
sub base.
going.
Yeah.
Hey, you sign contract. We got to figure this out both ways.
Yep.
Yeah, because obviously today, everyone's freaking out. The price of oil goes up. We got four. Yeah, I just filled up my car this morning. Oh my God, it's $4.09. Like, how did that affects everything long term down the pike? But
Yep.
I feel like we still have been navigating to COVID symptoms since.
Yep. Yeah, 100%. Pricing obviously has gone up since COVID. A thing that I think is unique with our team is that a lot of developers don't know is, we're able to build extremely efficient. And what I mean by that is, based on our experience, we can execute with, I call them A, B, and C type subs. A is your large firm.
Yep.
They have a foreman on site, a PM, maybe an estimator. Your B is your owner operator. A smaller team, maybe a family member as an admin in the office, and then you have your C is, the owner wears
They
everything.
don't do paperwork. You're lucky to get a COI out of them.
Yes. So that being said, we have not only experience but the capability to execute with those different layers of subs that allows us to be competitive anywhere from a 5 unit all the way up to an 89 unit.
Yep.
And
With a A through C roster for certain things.
exactly. So it's not the easiest to deal with some of them.
Yeah, because there's probably a lot of like rip that out and do it again happening, right? Like, I mean, it has to in some capacity.
From our experience, it's more of navigating the back office.
Yeah.
In terms of getting proper RFIs, submittal packages, understanding who you're working with, and being prepared to kind of take on that workload for some of those subs.
On our end, we're just starting to see projects come back to life. The stuff that got put on shelves years ago, in some cases, months ago. What are you seeing from your side as a GC now that's getting projects started again? Like, what's having to happen? Because you guys are down the pike, right? Like, I see it up in the trenches, right? Like, oh my God, we got to get the plans, but you don't get to really start until the plans are done to bid it out to then hopefully win the job. Like, how are you seeing deals get done these days?
Yeah, it's a great question. It's not easy first to start. I would say the deals recently that we were able to move forward and, one that we are working together on is from a VE standpoint.
Yep.
We pride ourselves on, just having a log of information from projects we've completed, working with other architectural firms, mentors I've worked with, of just providing feedback from a VE standpoint to bring these projects costs down without affecting the integrity of the project. Because at the end of the day, the developer wants to build at a certain price per square foot and rent it at a certain square foot.
Correct.
So if we're able to provide options like, hey, you can build it a little more cost efficient without impacting those two factors, has helped some of the projects we're actively building move forward.
Give me an example of one thing that could be common that you see that's either on a drawing set or something like to look at, even for other developers and GCs listening, like or either other architects that are listening to this, like, hey, shit, I got to check my details, make sure we got this.
Well, first say we love working with your team. Your guys build it very efficiently. We always recommend any client that comes to us you guys don't over-engineer the building.
No.
Yeah. So a couple things that stands out is, in terms of lumber, we try to look at a set of plans and see if there's an opportunity to reduce the span of the joists,
Like a bearing wall or something in between, or
that won't affect the layout of the units. This will allow the lumber package, instead of to be engineered lumber, to be more conventional.
Yep.
And it's a pretty big swing from a cost standpoint.
Yeah.
From a foundation standpoint, pretty common, shoring versus benching, seeing where
the space to do it.
Yeah,
that's a big one.
And then from a facade standpoint, just like educating the developer between the levels of pricing, from brick veneer to metals and siding, whether it's hardy or vinyl. I always say to our clients, like, if it's not visible from street view, the sides and rear, maybe a vinyl product that can bring costs down. What else? WRB systems, water resistant barrier.
Yep.
3 different premiums. You have your fluid, you have your adhesive, and your paper. So just educating them. And again, it's on the design firm and the client what they want to move forward with. We just give them options on where potentially to save costs.
Yeah, for us, it's always a balance, right? When those things change, because now we're taking on more risk potentially. Sometimes, right? If we're not sealing the building a certain way, decade later, someone comes back and says, "Oh, this is leaking." Whose fault is it, right? Like, was it installed properly? Was it flashed versus a heat? Like, did they roll on the the green board properly? Like, there's so many factors, and I know one thing that we changed that we have a no stance on it, or a full stance, like we won't touch it, is we're using dirt on the roofs. No more fiberglass. We haven't inspected fiberglass roof in almost a decade at this point. It's like, because we won't. Like, not in this climate. Fiberglass roofs over time will leak and crack. It just happens. And the thing that sucks is they always come back to the GC, where in reality, technically as a homeowner, you're supposed to maintain it. You're supposed to have it like recoated, but people don't talk about that.
100%.
And it's just like, now we're all dragged back into a lawsuit 8 years later because someone decided to scrape their chairs across their fiberglass roof deck and didn't seal it ever again. Just assumed it was good forever, when that's not reality.
Yeah, no, to your point, one thing that, we implement and we make sure we carry in our budget is we do third-party building envelope inspections. We hire the third party because at the end of the day, we properly staff projects. Superintendent project manager for the 89 unit project, he doesn't have the capability to see every single nail, window install. So we have a third party come out, evaluate that.
That protects everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you just bake it into your costs somewhere, and now you have at least a report to rely on if there's something down the line. That's great. Let's talk a little bit about the team. So obviously you mentioned it's you and your brother. So it's obviously been the two of you since the beginning, but how big is your team?
Yeah, great question. So it's my brother and I founded the company. We actually brought on our childhood best friend as a partner officially 2 years ago. He's been with us for 4. And bringing him on was substantial for us. He comes from a risk management world, corporate world. He manages our cash flow. Cash flow is king, especially in our business. And he's been instrumental with our growth for that. And then also, a big thing for me as a leader, I know what I know and I know what I don't know. So we hire strategically in that aspect. We have senior superintendents that have a lot of experience and knowledge. And I'm a big believer, the reason we've had success over the 9 years is the people we have. Just well-versed in their field, but also like a team culture and willing to lean on everyone in our team.
And I guess when building that culture, people always, you never hire perfectly, right? Maybe talk a little bit about some questions you ask. Like, what are like some interview questions you ask that have worked for you over multiple hires that and God, I asked that, or like things you look for, like flags that pop up during the interview process?
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know if I'm allowed to curse on this podcast.
You can curse. You can curse.
A mentor of mine, and he taught me this about 2 years ago. He's like, it's either a fuck yes or no when you hire. And that just clicked for me. And it's just a lot of factors. It's body language. It's their vulnerability in the interview process.
Vulnerability, what do you mean? Like what they're willing to share?
So I always ask, a good question of mine is, what's your strong suit and what are you not good at? What would you need assistance, whether it's a field or office standpoint? What are you not comfortable reading from a plan aspect? So I know when you're at a certain phase in a project, maybe you need some more assistance. So that's what I mean in terms of vulnerability. Yeah.
Gotcha. So vulnerability is a big piece of what, the core value of someone willing to admit like they don't know everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's great.
Yeah. I mean, in our industry, we're problem solvers. You're integrating a architect, a structural engineer, an MEP, and a construction team together. There's going to be issues or unforeseen information. So the more my team is vulnerable and willing to raise a hand when they need assistance, things move forward.
Yeah. So obviously the process of getting here, it's been, I guess for you guys, you're coming up on your 10th year here.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Big 10 year at full court. What's been like your favorite part of the process to date for you?
Building the team.
Building the team.
Yeah. I mean, my background's athletics. Yeah. I've been on good teams. I've been on bad teams. Yeah. And the ones that have succeeded, it's the culture.
Oh, let's dive into culture a little bit. What are some fun things culturally that you do that you think keeps the team hyped up or like willing to go to war for full court?
That's a good question. I think it's leadership down. Yeah. Like for me, I pride myself on leading by example. First one in the office, I'm willing to go help flash a window if needed. You know what I mean? I'm willing to put my pre-con hat on. I'm willing to field warranty calls. So I think just them seeing the dedication, it kind of starts with that. And I think just everyone on our team understands they don't know everything. So they're willing to ask each other questions and heavily lean on that. And then lastly, I would say is we treat every project like a competition. There's no metrics behind that specifically, but that's just.
What do you mean? So competition in what regards? Like it's going to be better than the last, or like we're going to make more profit? Like what do you mean competition?
We're competitive. I treat it like it's an athletic program. For like the 89 unit project, like our goal was to beat the schedule, beat the budget, and have high quality. And now we set the tone with that project team, and it carries over onto the other projects. Yep. So it's a competition essentially. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's see. So let's chat about. Let's slide out a little bit. I guess I want to get into like relationship building because obviously, a lot of people. We've crossed over the years. But I want you to talk a little bit about how you've built your network of people around you. I think that's something that a lot of people underestimate that contributes to a lot of success. So I want you to like talk about maybe going back to like that 2017 era, like what were you doing at that time to initially start building your network and finding the people that I guess that you're working with today or clients and things like that?
Yeah, honestly, Brad, that's a great question. That's the one thing looking back at it, I wish I did more.
We all do.
And be more intentional. My big motto is just get in the room. You never know what relationship will transition, whether it's business or referring you to a mentor. So I really believe in that, and that's why we're involved in networking groups, and I kind of just try to open my funnel as big as possible and be a resource to people because I do believe it comes back tenfold. I don't know if that helps.
Yeah, no, I mean, I guess, the networking groups that you're a part of, you do, are you doing them weekly? Are you doing them monthly, quarterly? Like, do you have different ones you do? Like, maybe talk about kind of the scatter of that a little bit.
Good question. So, as you know, being in a business owner, your time is limited. You have so many hats you're wearing. I strategically allocate a certain amount of time towards business development. And that could be coffee meetings, networking events, anything.
Dropping bottles of liquor off at partnership office.
Yes. Yeah.
I remember that one.
Nice. I'm glad you remember that. I guess it stands out.
See, it goes a long way.
So I try to get in, groups I'm a part of is BIA, Building Industry Association. P&O is a group that we're both a part of. I think that's very effective where you can tap.
Wait, I want to know why I'm like one of the only non-Jewish people in there. I got to know this.
I don't even know if that's true.
Pretty sure.
Okay.
I think it's me and Chris Terrio. Chris Terrio is the Italian and I'm the Greek mutt.
That's got
just the two of us.
It's funny. People think the groups I'm a part of, it is Jewish background, but
Yep.
you don't need to be Jewish to be a part of.
I know they say that, but come on. But no, I was grateful to be asked to be in that group because that group, the Philadelphia Network of Opportunity Group, which is a subgroup of JBN, Jewish
Yes.
Business Network. It's a lot of fun, a lot of really cool people in there.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's funny. Like I'm the president of JBN,
Yep.
and how I got to that, it doesn't make sense. But I just knew I just need to get in the room.
Yeah.
And I was inducted into the Jewish Sports Hall of Fame. I got introduced to someone that asked me to be on the board. Jumped on that board. He introduced me to JBN. Jumped on that board. Then got promoted to the president. So like, just wanting
We
that.
need someone to be president. How about this guy? He can do it.
Yeah.
He looks like a good candidate.
Yeah. You know.
So yeah, so that's good. So networking, constantly just figuring out, zigging and zagging through that. One thing's going to lead to the next. Keeping doors open, moving through it.
Yep.
You mentioned something about time allocation, right?
Yep.
I want to hear from a professional athlete, went to college, played at Bucknell, got your ass kicked by Gonzaga or something.
UConn.
UConn. The Huskies, go Huskies, right?
Yep.
I want to understand what your habits and schedule look like. Like, talk to me when you get up in the morning to when you go to bed at night. Like, what does that habit look like? Unrelated to business, right? Like, I don't need specifics. Like, oh, I sit in no, I spend this much time doing this. So try to break that down for me. Is it consistent for you? Are there things you do every day that you don't miss? Talk a little bit about that a little bit.
That's a great question, Bri. It stemmed from college.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my head coach in college literally made us fill out a timesheet every 30-minute time block. And it was the most helpful thing.
As you went along for the day, or you had to do it?
I had to submit it to him every week for the week.
For the week.
Exactly. Like, and I'm talking my naps, where I'm eating. It was crazy.
I was just nap. All day naps.
So that kind of set the tone for me as I transitioned into my professional life. You know, I'm very time block oriented, and I try to guard my time as much as possible. I'm a morning person. I get up early, 5 a.m. workout.
5 a.m. workout.
Yeah, I know. I'm one of those guys.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be one of those guys. I'm
Okay.
yearning towards it, but I feel like if I keep hearing stories like this, I'm going to get there.
It's hard. I have an accountability partner, like buddy, that it sounds stupid, but we text each other, and if I don't hit a certain amount of days, I Venmo him like $25 or something.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
You're
so
like real accountability.
yeah. It actually works. So
I got something similar like that for business meetings where if you don't do your to-do for the week, you got to put $5 in per to-do you miss.
Yeah.
That's been pretty helpful, but maybe a try it on the
you let me know if you need accountability.
I'm just going to be Venmoing you consistently. That's going to be the problem.
That's fine.
All right, so 5 a.m. workout.
Yep.
Goes for an hour?
No, it's about 45 minutes.
Okay.
And honestly, it's more of energy for me. It sets me up for the day. The good thing is, so we use WhatsApp for our projects
Oh, cool.
per project.
You have like a communication WhatsApp thing?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So, you know, a lot of our superintendents get out to the field, I would say anywhere from 6 to 7 a.m.
Mhm.
So I'm at the gym, I'm setting them up for the day, anything from a reminder standpoint. You know, I wear a project executive hat in our team, so I just give them like high level stuff to remember,
Yep.
whether it's from a safety and install, you know, just
Wear your harness.
exactly. So, you know, 5 to 6, I'm in the gym, get back, eat breakfast, usually do some emails at home, and then I get to the office around 8 o'clock.
Okay.
And then it's funny, my time varies. If you would have talked to me 6 months ago, I was more out in the field. Now I'm all pre-construction.
Bids, prepping for Q3,
Exactly.
4. Yep.
So I'm behind a computer, even though I prefer actually to be a hybrid. I like being out in the field. But right now my time's behind the computer.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, all right. So you're in the office, 8 o'clock. How long does that day last typically for you?
Typically in the office till 5.
Okay. 8
Yeah.
to 5, take a hour lunch usually, or a break.
Yeah, I eat lunch in front of my computer. You know, I'm when I'm at work, I'm at work.
What are you eating? I know this is crazy. Like, what type of food do you eat during the day?
I'm pretty disciplined. I meal prep on Sundays.
Okay.
So I've been doing that since college.
What does like a container look like? What's in that container?
So I do egg quiche. I make It's pretty simple, actually.
Sounds fancy as shit.
No, it
Egg
sounds
quiche.
it's literally egg, broccoli, and turkey sausage,
Okay.
and then I do a fruit bowl.
Okay.
So it's
And that's for lunch,
that's for breakfast.
breakfast.
Yeah.
Egg quiche and fruit bowl.
Yep.
It's fancy. I got to get on that level.
It's funny. My partner makes fun of me all the time because I just eat the same stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are you doing for lunch then?
Lunch is I call it a meat bowl. So it's essentially ground beef, veggies, and hot sauce.
Okay. And that's meal prep too. So you got that comes in with you.
Yep.
Okay. And that goes till
That probably takes me to like 4 o'clock. Then I'll have probably a protein shake, and then
make that at the office or
I make that at the office. It's just
yeah.
one of those shakers.
Yeah, like a whey protein or some shaken liquid, pure liquid, no
Yep.
no blender. Okay.
And then when I get home, I got to give a shout out to my wife that wanted a shout out on this podcast. Kayla cooks me dinner at home,
Great.
and
that varies, whatever.
yeah, I mean she's phenomenal, Italian chef too. Yeah, so
Awesome.
that can go all over the place.
All right, 6 o'clock. When do you go to bed? You get up at 5 a.m. What's that lights out moment you got to be?
Yeah, I try to go to bed at 10 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah, in bed around 9:30, winding down.
Yeah.
Hopefully no fires you got to put out, and you're
It happens.
asleep by 10. Yeah.
Yeah. So 10 o'clock, you're out and you're up at 4:45 heading to the gym every morning. 5 days a week?
I would say 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5, Monday through Friday.
Yes.
Impressive.
Thanks, Brad.
One of the most regimented things I've heard on the show. Because I want to understand how people do it and maintain the energy levels. I think other people listening go like, I don't do that.
Yeah.
I don't eat ground beef and vegetables every day at lunch. Like I should be.
Yeah.
We all know we should be.
It's fine. I look at it as like, that's what I can control.
Yeah.
Like at work and during the day, you could be prepared, but there's some things that are just out of your control. So like these small little wins, and it's actually one of the books I love, Atomic Habits.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Great book.
It just gives you that confidence throughout the day.
James Clear.
Sounds right.
James Clear.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a good Atomic Habits. James Clear. That's a good book. That could change your life. That book.
I agree.
Yep.
I agree.
So, all right. So we got your daily regimen down.
Yep.
Let's talk about. I want to go back to business stuff for a second. I want to talk about some of, failures is the wrong word, but I want to talk about maybe some learning lessons through the years that like, shit, I did that. This happened. Never do that again. Type of things that you could at least say.
Yeah, for sure. Listen, I'm full of transparency. Everyone makes mistakes. If you're telling people you haven't,
That's a problem. I would be scared if you haven't
Yes.
made a mistake.
I would say the two biggest things that stand out to me is, when I was referencing the A, B, and C subs, when we first started and transitioned into a little bigger assets, we had such good relationships with the smaller subs, and we tried to scale with them.
I know you can do a 1 unit, but how about this 30 unit?
Yeah.
Go put all those toilets in.
So, that was a great learning experience because now we obviously vet the sub, have we worked with them before? Have they done this? But we also take it a little step further where we ask them, what projects do you have actively, like in the queue? So like just doing a little bit deeper dive because we had that bad experience. So that stands out to me. And then I would say from a pre-construction standpoint, understanding what has long lead times and what stuff is out of your control, and prioritizing that.
Making sure it's ordered early and
maybe
a stock of it.
Pico.
Pico's a client of mine, so I'm not going to say anything. But Pico, the electrical panel boxes, and then scheduling them to come hook it up can take time.
Yes. Elevators. Understanding the process, understanding the state inspections, knowing what's in your control and what's out of your
How about some
control.
Pico vaults? Are you doing any Pico vaults for any of these buildings?
We have new Pico vaults. Yeah. So, listen, we've made our mistakes.
Ready for our CO. We just got to get Pico out here. See you never.
Yeah.
Be on a TCO for the rest of your life on that building.
Yeah. It's true. Yep.
Yeah. Everyone's made those mistakes. It's not we've done it on the architectural side too. Same stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, we'll wait to submit this or that, or
Yep.
didn't realize that was part of the process that just got added last week, right? So it's always something to keep updated on. But once it happens, damn if you let it happen a second or third time.
100%. Yeah. And I think for us, like, we over communicate with our clients, And I think I pride ourselves with that with our company is like we have weekly meeting with some of our clients. So we let them know right away if there's an issue or like these are the options for us to move forward. So yeah.
Nice. You still doing your own development, or are you kind of chilling on the side right now?
We actually are finishing up our last development project.
Okay.
Yeah, we know what we're good at, we know what we're not good at.
Yeah.
And I want to focus our time and effort on growing our construction company. And I think we have a great niche and product that I want to get the word out to more developers that we can help projects move forward.
What's the furthest you're willing? So because you're at 42nd and Lancaster is where your office is.
Yep.
How far out are you building? Are you building everything in the city? Or are you going like how far around Center City are you guys building right
It's a great question. We're all over the city.
Okay.
A goal of mine in 2026, really the next 3 years is to branch out into Jersey, Central PA, and Baltimore area.
Baltimore being interesting. We'll connect offline on that because I've been keeping my eye on some Baltimore stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, that's heading down 95 pathway there.
We're actively bidding a project for a developer in that area.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's another mark. I will tell you just from what we see, Philly's great. Philly will always keep going, but a lot of people have pulled their chips out of Philly and are putting it on surrounding. I look at Philly like a big roulette table, right? The wheels spinning, it's constantly going around, the ball's hitting numbers, people are winning, some people are losing, but it's moving.
Yep.
But a lot of people are putting their chips on other roulette tables around.
Yep. Makes sense.
It's happening, and I loved when it was all in on Philly, but politicians don't like that, I guess. So they make you want to go play in other casinos.
Yeah, it's true.
So it's a shame, but Philly will continue to go. It's just slower than it once was. They want to keep adding things, and every month I feel like there's new things that need to happen on prereqs and during construction that are just making it cost more, which is driving up costs for homeowners, right? Because that cost got to go somewhere. Developers aren't giving any less returns to their investors. So the cost, unfortunately, goes right to the homeowner or renter. And yeah, it's a challenge, but
I agree. You would know. It's funny. We network with architects because you guys are the front line essentially before projects typically get to us. So it makes sense.
Yeah, it's wild. So what other piece of advice can you give the listeners here? So you've built a business, $50 million in construction. Like what do you need to know? Like if I'm listening to the show, it's like, hey, I'm thinking of starting my own construction company or starting my own anything. Like, what are some top 2 things that like have guided you to get to where you are?
It's a good question.
It could be sweet nothings you whisper to yourself at night. Like it could be anything. I just want to make that clear.
Get up what 5 a.m. and go to the gym.
Besides the 5 a.m. and go to the gym, that'll get you doing anything.
No, I would say not even in my industry, just in general. I think what I wish I did earlier was strategically find someone that's doing what you want to do and try to seek them as a mentor.
Yeah.
And there's 2 ways to seek a mentor, in my opinion, is, bring them value, whether that's actual deals or just time.
Yep.
I think that is key to success, is finding someone that's doing what you're doing. So that stands out to me. And then, for me, I'm continuing to educate myself.
Yep.
I have specific time blocks where I'm learning about the new IBC code coming to market.
Don't do that.
I know.
Yeah, the architects for that. My office handle that for you.
just every angle to just like position myself as an expertise in my field.
All right. Are you dabbling with AI at all?
Yes.
I literally have AI working on my computer right now for me.
I feel like you're at a different level than me.
I want to hear how you're using it. I want to talk about that a little bit because it's a little segment I want to start incorporating into the show. Just I want to touch on it.
Yeah, we're a big believer. If we don't learn it, we're going to get left behind. So it's funny. I actually just took a webinar from BizNow about AI platforms in the construction software or in the construction industry.
Procore just released something.
Yes. And after that webinar, I was officially overwhelmed. Just the amount of different companies coming out. But essentially, we have business chat GPT. We're probably going to be transitioning to Claude.
Yeah.
And, we're still learning how to use it, but we use it as like an APM, an assistant project manager from a pre-construction and an active construction project.
Yep.
And we have a folder per project, and essentially we're educating it. And, from a field standpoint, we're still implementing this, but it just helps expedite things. So if one of our superintendents wants to find a detail on a plan within
Just like that.
whole message into the chat. From a pre-construction standpoint, it helps expedite descoping bids.
Yep.
Really just shortening the pre-construction timeline, because if we can expedite how quicker we can get a proposal to a client, I think that's
Big deal.
Competitive advantage.
Absolutely.
So-
When everyone else is asking for time extensions, you already have it and ready to go. It looks pretty. Like,
Yeah.
as a developer or client, I'm like, these people have their shit together. These people don't care about me.
Yep.
Yeah, we're using the exact same way, cutting a lot of ways from an executive level. I've never been able to get visualizations like I have today. Like, Power BI is cool, but it takes a computer scientist to be able to link all that together. Where, Chat GPT, Claude specifically, we have all of it. My
Yep.
team uses all sorts of stuff. It's crazy. But Claude, from an executive level standpoint, can do some powerful stuff. Literally, what I have it doing for me right now, I have an old project from a decade ago resurfaced, and I have it going through my email, scraping my entire email, pulling out every single email, putting it into a PDF, pulling out every attachment with those PDFs, filing it in chronological order, and giving me a summary of every file that's associated there.
We'll talk offline.
Literally working right now. It's
That's cool.
right.
Yeah.
From a decade ago in my inbox, right? So it's just like things like that, like where you can expedite you doing stuff, and it could be working while you're on a Zoom.
Yeah.
And then if you really get good, you can have 5 of those things doing 5 different tasks, and then you're like, oh my God, I just did more today than most people do in a week.
100%. Yeah, it's interesting. What I'm working on that's been really helpful for our clients, that are prospecting new deals, is essentially we uploaded all our previous projects and, put together on a document, price per square foot, timeline, change orders we occurred. So then I could provide that to them while they're evaluating new deals. So they have a pulse on, like, okay, this type of asset should be in this price range.
Yeah, I've even seen, I know somebody that sits on a board of a logistics shipping company, and they transition their entire phone system to agents. And essentially, you're a truck driver calling up, bidding on like hey, I want to do the shipment. Literally, you're now negotiating with an AI agent that you can't tell the difference. And the AI agents are increasing gross profit margins for the company because there's no emotion.
Yep.
It's like, it gets to the point like, oh, well, maybe on the next order, we'll be able to find a fit. And this person's like, no, I'll do it for that price, right? Like, you hear like literally humans already are fighting robots, and they're just doing it in different ways, right? We don't have this crazy iRobot scenario, right, where they're hopping out of shipping containers and stopping traffic, but it is scary to some capacity what could be someday.
Yeah, it's scary, but
I do think the physical construction though is protected for some time. I don't think
for some time. Yeah, I think there's going to be a big barrier to enter that space.
Yeah, the blue collar jobs aren't going anywhere anytime soon, at least.
I would agree. I think it's going to just make back offices a lot more efficient.
Yeah, lean and mean.
Yep.
Bryan, any last little sizzles you want to leave the audience with today? You already gave a shout out to your wife, so that's it was good.
Yeah, she's good.
Check
She's
that
happy.
box
That's
off.
big. No, I want to thank you. This is a great opportunity. I think it's awesome. I'm a big fan. I listen. You do all different.
We got some crazy people on this.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
I was listening to the last one with Chris Terrio. It's hilarious. Just in general, just have a good mindset. I jumped in right after playing basketball, didn't know what I was doing, and kind of just trust the process. You'll find what lane you want to get into and what you're passionate about.
Yep.
I knew I wanted to get into real estate, but I didn't know what arm of real estate. And yeah, if anyone's listening, I'm a resource.
How can they find you? What's the best way to reach out to you?
We have a website. I can give you that information. We have Instagram.
Not your OnlyFans. I want just Instagram.
Instagram. Yeah. Website, LinkedIn. That's all.
Instagram, Full Core Construction, Bryan Cohen, and Aaron, and your brother Aaron. But Bryan, thank you for taking the time today. Appreciate it. Tons of nuggets. So I know the listeners are gonna be thinking about, what they can do and, how to connect with you if you ever need a project built here in the city. So
Awesome. Appreciate it, Bri.
Yep.
Young John.